Tiffany and Brad here with Years of Years, and it's This Day in Disney for April 27th. Yeah, and today we are headed back to 2011, so not too far, but a sad moment because back on this day in 2011, anthropologist, teacher, and actor Oscar Kawagley passed away at age 76 in Fairbanks, Alaska. So you would know Oscar Kawagley from his role in Brother Bear. He played Denahi, he voiced Denahi, which was, you know, the adult, older. Yeah. So he was also in Northern Exposure for 25 years.
Yeah, and that's a big one because
that's a long time to be on a show.
Yeah, early in our marriage, Tiffany watched the entire Northern Exposure series.
Yeah.
I don't know that you recall a lot of it because it was a while ago.
A long time ago.
Yeah.
We did want to live. We always were like, we should move to Alaska, but we didn't. So instead, we moved to Florida.
Yeah.
So Florida, Alaska, one or the other. I do think it would be really cool for us to go to Alaska. I think it'd be cool to do one of those Disney cruises.
Yes,
there.
I want to do that, and I want to do a Siberian train at some point as well. So, with a port in St. Petersburg. But Brother Bear.
Brother Bear, oh my goodness.
And Denali.
Yes, we really loved this film a lot.
Yeah, actually. So overlooked and often underrated, but very dear to our hearts. And I think, tell everybody I'm on my... I mean, that song comes into my head all the time.
Right.
It is one of the more memorable Disney songs, but this film really, I mean, the reason that we love it and that I love it is because we had babies, and her father came with us to this film, and it really opened up children's films to him and Disney film to him.
He really liked this film a lot.
Yeah, he got into it, and it really became totally open to enjoying family entertainment.
My parents traveled a lot, and he was always drawn to different cultures and backgrounds, and I know this movie really spoke to him a lot. He really enjoyed it.
But I felt that it spoke to him on the family level too.
Yes,
deeply.
It's a big family theme. Yes.
Yeah, but in our home as well, we had a child join us later in life.
Miles.
Who does not care for this film.
Well, he recently said, I need to sit down and watch it. Yeah. He would not let us watch this film.
As a child.
So we loved it, we watched it, and then Miles came along and I put it on and try and watch it with him, and he'd be like, turn it off.
Ixnay on the bear day.
He did not, it scared him when he was too intense.
You know how those things happen.
So you never know, if you have kids and stuff, you never really know, they could watch something super scary and then something that you think is benign, and to them they're just like, no,
the timing,
I don't like
the trigger, everything was perfect.
So I mean he's watched Lord of the Rings, but he wouldn't watch Brother Bear.
Right, that is true. At the same age, so that's what I mean. It was a trigger. There must have been some,
some kind of bear thing.
He's the same way about bees, a little bit.
Well,
because he got stung on his first birthday.
So
that's what I mean.
Yeah.
You know how it goes.
On his very first birthday, he got stung multiple times by a bee.
Yeah.
When we were outside, so that was awful. But Oscar Kawagley, he was a phenomenal man, not just because he was in Brother Bear and Northern Exposure, but he actually was Yupik's anthropologist, teacher, and actor. So he grew up, his parents had passed away, and his grandmother raised him traditionally in the Yupik tradition, and he knew the language. He was bilingual, so he was the first person to graduate from his high school that was Yupik. And so he really was a forefront. He highly educated, worked with many different universities in Alaska and all over the world in helping to push forward Native cultures and how that the things that the techniques that and the way that they live bringing that to modern society and using those techniques in our society.
Not assuming that they were primitive, but that they were in fact civilized and advancing that idea to better our societies.
Exactly. So I think this is a phenomenal concept. I think we should use more of it because I think we can integrate natural skills into technology and the things that we do now.
And our use of and interaction with and preservation of.
Yeah, I love the concept of taking the good that we create, that people have created in the past, and adding it to what we can do now. I think it will really drive us into the future. So I think what he was doing was phenomenal. He was highly respected, not just in Alaska, but like I said, all over the world for this work. And it's unfortunate that he passed away. He actually worked up until he passed away at the age of 76. So
I noticed, in fact, that while we're speaking of his passing, that he was born on November 8th, which is my sister's birthday.
Oh.
So that's so, like, cool. Right. Maybe I, kind of know him a little bit, deeper, just from having known my sister. So that's pretty cool.
So you mostly did work with the University of Alaska and the Fairbanks College of Liberal Arts for more than 25 years. Over the course of a prolific career, he explored how Yupik concepts he learned as a boy on the tundra could work in concert with Western education. He became a pioneer in the field of indigenous knowledge. So,
oh, nice.
I think that's a great word, indigenous knowledge, you know, because obviously they had knowledge and we can still use that knowledge. We should never destroy the good and the positive
I'm
things.
sure that what he taught was actually the specifics of passing tradition and communicating and teaching in that way, and maybe even some of the things that played out and were shown forth in Brother Bear. It'd be interesting to even investigate that further. That's pretty cool.
And just also the Anchorage Daily News described him as one of Alaska's most influential teachers and thinkers. This was an important man. He really did a lot, and it's cool that he got to be this voice in a Disney film, but it's more important what he did for our society as a teacher. And he was described as someone that students really love to learn from, and I think that's the best kind of teacher, right? You remember that in school. You have all sorts of teachers, but then there's the teachers who just, I don't know, it's like they have the learning ability to transfer the fun of it into you and really get you in subjects. And I think he was one of those teachers too, so it's awesome.
And Brother Bear, it transfers that message right into you, family
Did you guys watch that movie or that show, Northern Exposure? Yeah, I loved it back then. That was good. Those were good times. That was when I had my first two, particularly my first child at home, so I was cuddle up and watch. It was comforting.
We had a great couch and a sizable TV for the day.
Well, and we lived in Wisconsin, so it wasn't warm by any means.
Yeah.
So it
felt right at home.
It was good. But yeah, tell us about it. Did you guys watch that show? What do you think of Brother Bear and Oscar Kawagley? Do you know about him? If you do, tell us more.
Yeah.
And especially if anybody's watching from Alaska, that would be awesome. But yeah, that's it for this day in Disney, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye!